Against the background of the incompatibility of language systems, which we looked into during our last session of this series of philosophy of language, it is clear why when translating to one language to another, the subject of translation is inevitably associated with fundamental non-commensurability. Semon Frank gives the following epistemological expression of this position. However, at the same time, one should understand that the content of the very part consists in a relation to the whole and therefore can be considered only on the whole. In other words, the truth about secondary or derivative being as a self-sufficient truth is generally impossible, since all knowledge in the end has only one object, which is all unity. And further, and the differentiation, that is dismemberment into concepts of knowledge, which in turn is its object and its connectedness, are equally explainable and stem from the very nature of being as a continuous, internally joined unity, from the nature of being as a methodological unity. So the subject of designation is not unambiguous, as Hegel stated in his logical investigations the following way. By every name, one has to distinguish between what it announces, that is, every physical experience, and what it means. And again, between what it means, that is the meaning or the content of the nominal representation, and what it names, which is the object of representation. And in order to avoid realistic analytical representations associated with such terms introduced by frege, like Bedeutung, which in German means reference, and Sinn, which means sense, one can instead distinguish such terms as concept and word, in order to emphasize that the complexity of this context takes place within the language that we are using. And the concept is the distinguished, while the word is the expressions of the distinguished. It is possible, however, to imagine a concept without linguistic reflection, but a word always implies the concept to which it refers. And each concept is an idea, since it rises above a specific context by its separate definiteness. Well, let's summarize. A word is situationally connected with a concept. That is, it can serve as its expression. Just like a finger pointing to the sky does not become the sky itself.